ERB. You don't know what ERB is. It is called Epic Rap Battles of History. Now that is quite a popular name, but sadly no one knows it. It's pretty underrated in my opinion. Move closer to the phone. It's pretty underrated in my opinion. Now, I'm not gonna show it on video because that's a waste of time. Just go watch some of it and you'll see why it's underrated. The production quality is The production quality, whatever, is pretty good. What else is there? The lyrics and the beat. Just go watch it. You'll see why it's so underrated. Even though it has 14 million subscribers, that's more than Game Theory. Wow, I actually didn't know it was more than Game Theory. Oh. Okay. That is more than Game Theory. Yeah. But they're quite underrated though. Like, almost no one talks about them. Like, almost no one talks about them, which is quite sad. There are 4 things I'll check out this video today. The first one is the introduction to RB and how underrated it is, which I just talked about. What happens in an ERB video and what happened and how they make it, and then maybe some extra stuff. Let's talk about what happens in an ERB video. The video starts off with the beat beginning of the weird voice telling us who is going up against each other. And then so I'm gonna give you an example here. Wait, let me think of a battle. Alright. Dream versus BTS. Who has caused the worst fan base to live? Epic rap battle. Dream versus BTS. So and then both the characters get a verse. Now sometimes most of the characters get to say their thing, and sometimes the person who has the second verse wins. And I wasn't trying to stretch the video, I literally forgot what I was gonna say, but yeah, you know what I said. So yeah, they both get their thing, and either both characters have 2 verses each. That's 4 verses total. 3 verses each, 6 verses in total. 3 other people come in. 3 other people join the battle, and it's 1 verse each. It's 5 verses. So for example, it's Dream, BTS, then Justin Roiland, then Toby Fox, then the guy who created Gacha Life. You know, the worst fan bases. Actually, no, Rebecca Sugar. Replace Rebecca Sugar with Toby Fox. There we go. Yeah. And that's yeah. It's all quite cool. It's all quite cool. You might probably muffled there. But yeah, it's all quite cool. And yeah. Which most battles with 5 people each are usually fan favorites, if you must know. Which is a good thing, of course. Okay, do we talk about everything that happens in battle? Oh yeah, there's one battle though that has easily the worst verse structure. James Bond versus Austin Powers. So here's how it begins. James Bond gets 1 verse. Austin Powers gets 1 verse. James Bond gets another verse. Connor Bond gets a verse. Austin gets another verse. Connor gets another verse. James gets another verse. Austin gets another verse. Connor gets another verse. James gets another verse. Connor gets another verse. James gets another verse. Connor gets another verse. Like, yeah, Austin only got 3 verses, and and second and third one are really short. Like I don't even know if they should be called versions. So yeah, there's that. Yeah, that battle has easily the worst structure. No, Austin won the battle though in the last verse. So yeah, whatever. Who cares? So yeah, so we talked about how underrated it is. What happens in the battles and how they make the battles. Okay. I actually don't know the full process. There's probably a lot to it. I just guess what I can. Don't take this. Don't take whatever comes out of our mouth as a fact. It's probably not, but you know. So the first thing is they come up with a matchup. Come up with giant quotation marks. They just look in the comments. They just look around for a matchup, which I guess makes sense because in the battles, whenever it ends, they say, "Who won? Who's next? You decide." So I guess, yeah, but you know. So yeah, I guess the fans are gonna get the matchups. So then they get that matchup. Okay. Then they start writing the character. Then they start writing. They start the writing of the characters. They write. Okay, so it's fine. They start writing the character. They start writing the lines. You know. And then then they finish the writing, which can take a long time. So after the writing, they make the audio for this. They cast people to play. So oh, who's this guy? PewDiePie? Okay. So they cast other people, and then they make him say the lines that the character he would play say. Then they say their lines, and then once they have all the audio recordings, they buy a beat from someone else. Then they mix the beat with. Then they mix the audio with the beat and the lines, and it sounds good. So now they have the audio, but they still don't have the actual visuals in the video yet. So they get their hair. So they get hair, makeup, and costumes to help them transform into another character. Then they start recording the video. Of course, the audio is really echoey, which is a problem. So once they're done recording the video, they transfer the video onto computer. Then they get the audio files. I think the audio became a file, and they extract all the audio from the actual video because it's echoey, so it will end up lip syncing, which I just found out. I genuinely thought the audio was actually really good until I watched some of the behind the scenes. So then they do that. Then they have to put the backgrounds in and add the subtitles in, and you know, like add the visuals or like, oh, this guy's right there, but there's another guy that looks like him and he's behind him. You know, they do all that cool stuff. Then they have to finish up with that, and yeah, then they put it on Patreon, and I don't know, and I think that's it. I think that's the end of it. So I'm gonna simplify for you. Get matchup. Write down lines. Cast character. Record video. Turn to character. Edit video. DM. Yeah, again, it takes a long time though. Like, it takes like a month minimum too. But yeah, it's worth the wait though. I can't say it isn't worth the wait. That would be a lie. A gigantic lie. So yeah, we talked about the first three things. What are the extras? What are extras on this topic? Well, so let's see. We talked about the first thing was how underrated it is. What happens in the ERB? How they make an ERB? So I guess the last thing is the extras. Let me think. I'm not gonna waste your time. The only thing I can actually think of is probably the other people, people who are inspired by it. There's a lot of fan-made battles, which is fine. You know, some of them are actually really good. And I realized I forgot to mention something when I was talking about what happens in ARB. So let's talk